Yo, welcome to Directly to You, episode 17, I think. I'm AJ. I'm from Redirect, but you should know that unless you're new here. I'm joined by my friend Colton of The Colton Show on all the things on Twitch and whatnot. We stream Pokemon every week. We'll talk about that later. But right now, I want to talk about some of the new developments that's been happening in the Nintendo Switch 2 world, and also gaming at large. Gaming in
Ooh,
general is kind of cooked, and people are upset about it, I guess. Um, so I guess the first thing we could talk about is just generally so Xbox's prices went up again.
yeah,
And
I heard.
this is very clearly a response to tariffs, but former Blizzard employee says that console price increases are not tariff issues, they are profit issues. And he says in his tweet specifically what I just said, and he said the reason why profits are not where they should be is a far deeper issue versus the tariff excuse. Which, like, duh, like yes, of course, like, obviously when they increase their prices it's because they want higher profits, but the profits are not as high as they should be because they need to cut into their profits by, like, with the fact that they got to pay for these tariffs. And that, I think, comes to a bigger, broader issue that I kind of want to talk about, with how people view these sorts of things. Because my response generally to things like this, like when a console manufacturer or a game dev or whatever decides to price their thing, is generally I'm going to be like, do I want this, yes or no? But I'm never going to have the response of like, well, they should lower the price or whatever, because I know they
Yeah,
exist to make money. So I think that that's
yeah,
a futile, like, thing. Like, if obviously if something's not worth the money to me, I'm not going to buy it. But I think it's
yeah.
weird to plead with them to lower the or try to reason with them in any way, or be like, "Well, I think that it should be cheaper," because I don't think that that's going to move the needle one way or the other.
I think that's like a thing that people just do when they don't understand that like when things get bad, like with tariffs or whatever, society, like things are gonna get more expensive. Like people immediately just, I don't know, they just default to the don't raise the prices, actually make things cheaper when things in society are being more expensive, specifically with like the tariffs and stuff. So it's like, but at the same time with the coin, what you said was like them being like, oh, this is not a tariff problem, this is a expenses problem. It's like, yeah, but like, look what's happening.
Yeah,
You get what I'm saying? Like that is a direct result of why you have to do it so immediate. Like, you
right.
get what I'm saying? Like y'all always been like up in the price of stuff, but now it's like we can see straight up like this shit is like super expensive to the point that if you didn't buy it when it first came out, like
It's more
you're
expensive now.
like you're yeah,
Yeah.
like so it's like what the fuck? Like so yeah, it's like part of like people not understanding how to market and how shit works, and also a part of like these companies being like, I guess, trying to pretend like we're dumb in a way.
Yeah. It's just like, I don't know. I always find it weird whenever people do that parasocial thing, especially when it's Nintendo specifically, because I see how the sausage is made with them. I see that it's like, okay, they've raised their prices for a thing and their profits go up, and it won't be like, okay, well, let's pay Shigeru Miyamoto $1 billion. That brother makes $2 million a year. Shigeru Miyamoto, that brother is like
I'm weak.
Walt Disney levels, and he makes like $2 million a year. If we compare that to an American company, a company will make a bunch of money, and then they'll give their CEOs and other executives like these golden parachutes and all these like bonus packages, and they're making hundreds of millions of dollars in stock and other means. So it makes more sense for people to feel that way, because they'll, and then on top of that there's layoffs, which we can, there's been a thing about, I don't know how official it is. I know that there's been reports. I don't know if they did it yet. But there's talks of Nintendo off like outsourcing their customer support,
Mhm.
So they're talking about potentially training people from other countries to take over their customer support and laying off the people that currently do it, which is a bad thing if they do it. That's bad. That's whack. Their customer support is currently good. That could make it bad. So
Yeah.
I want to be clear in saying that that's a bad thing. But when Nintendo does do something like that, it's rare. It's like, and it's like with last year when there was a thing about their localization teams or whatever. Like they were going to outsource that, and they laid off. I want to say it was like 100 people. And when Nintendo does that, it's like, whoa, 100 people. But Microsoft is at like 10,000 people in the last year, and PlayStation's at like 2,000.
Yeah. I feel like people have been reacting to all those things. It's just it always they act like it's like isolated incidences where it's only like one company and it's not all the companies. And like, they're just not cutting the actual losses. It's always like a game of like what people prefer,
Yeah,
what they want to see and what they don't want to see.
right.
So it becomes like one of those things where like somebody will look at like Nintendo firing 100 people and be like, Nintendo should fire nobody, while like they'll look at companies like PlayStation and Microsoft and be like, well, they have a lot of people, so it's like that's not how that works.
Yeah. Especially and like I don't know. I have more smoke for Microsoft specifically because they're the biggest of them. But I also take issue with that kind of thinking because that's like putting that that's like casting them as if they're they exist to be good. If that makes sense, when they
Yeah.
don't, like they very clearly are not like this charitable organization. They're a for-profit company. So trying to reason with them as if like you guys have enough money is just kind of weird because like they exist to have like to make the number go as high as they want, and like you want them like selfishly. I don't know if that's the right word, but like ideally you want it to be in this like best way possible, this most like amicable way possible. But I think it comes to a point where people just want things because it makes them feel good and not because it makes sense in this transactional relationship that we have. Like
That's true.
to me, it's like when Nintendo does something like the Donkey Kong DLC, right? Like people didn't want to, like people are angry about the Donkey Kong DLC because that game at first was their like feel good story. It was like Mario Kart World came out and it's $80 and everybody hates it because to them it's not as good as the last game because of
Yeah.
the intermission courses or whatever. And then Donkey Kong comes out and it's $10 cheaper and it's everybody's game of the year and it's like this game's cheap. This was a good price game. And then they came out with the DLC and that narrative is slashed because the DLC is another $30, and people are like, well, then that makes Donkey Kong a $100 game. Although I don't think that math checks out. I mean, it does if you actually look at it as if it's one game, but that's not how it works. You don't have to buy the DLC. And also, if you wanted to buy both and you make it that where it's like it's $100 game or whatever, they do have an ironically $80 bundle to buy the DLC and also the game. So that puts it at the same price as Mario Kart. But to me, it's like that game had like a separate team. It was like this separate project. It wasn't the same thing. So it makes sense for them to like charge it as a separate thing.
It's like the conflation of like how like most games will drop and cost like the market price,
Hmm.
and they'll give you like 40% of the game
Right.
and people will buy it, right? And people got tired of that. And now it feels like people will actually get a whole game, but like if you got to pay for DLC,
They assume that it's the same
they
thing.
assume that it's the same thing. You
Right.
get what I'm saying? Where it's like
Because Pokemon's in the same boat right now.
it's a phenomenon. It's a phenomenon to me because like those are the same people that would like play 2K. You get what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
spend that extra $200 to make like two characters, right? Or to make one character,
Yeah.
and then we'll spend an extra 100 to make another character, and not see any problem with that. But like look at something like Donkey Kong, which is like its own like kind of standalone game. That's that. If somebody decides to charge $20 extra for the DLC, it's like that's normal.
Yeah,
like you get what I'm saying? It's
because
not like
for me
a
that's what it
highway
is.
robbery.
Like usually
Like you
that's
get what
how
I'm
I
saying?
see it personally. It's like I saw somebody actually complaining about this on Nintendo's Reddit where they were like, I don't like the fact that the DLC that Nintendo has been doing lately is like segmented from the game. It's like an entirely separate experience. It's like they with Donkey Kong specifically, they made it a roguelike. They made it a roguelike. They said instead of it being like here's more story content that you need to learn, I mean, like you learn more context of like what happens after it's post game or whatever, like instead of doing that, they're like, here's this entirely different mode that has nothing to do really with what you were doing before. It does make the post game easier in a sense because you get bananium chips easier and like you can get gold a little easier. But it's not like this thing that you need to play the game. And if you don't have it, you're at a disadvantage or whatever. I mean, again, it's not a multiplayer game, so it's not even the 2K comparison in that way where it's like a pay to win kind of thing. It's just literally like here's extra like new fun way to enjoy the game that you like, buy it or don't, and call it at that. But because it is something that's good and people want it, they themselves start to conflate it with like, well, this should have just been in the base game. It's this weird like ahistorical like thought of how game development works, where it's like, well, every idea that's on the table, like either like when you work on a thing that all is the game is the game is the game. If you worked on it during development, that inherently means that it's part of the game, but that's just not how projects work.
It's a bit of, it feels like it's a bit of like recency bias with a mixture of people who got their heart broken before by something that they really like that's very specific, that like now everybody else kind of has to suffer like through that. You get what I'm saying? It's like the people who were upset at how Cyberpunk dropped.
Yeah.
And now they look at every game like a Cyberpunk disaster drop. Even if there's nothing like that anyone is saying is wrong with it. You get what I'm saying? Right. Like, it's like no one has complained that like, yo, Donkey Kong Bonanza is a unfinished game.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Donkey Kong Bonanza, we got 60% of a game. Like, so I feel like when you say things like that, then it makes sense when you're like, well, then why y'all charging us $20 if y'all gave us 60% of the game?
Yeah, and it's even easier to see with Donkey Kong because they did have that, 3-month stretch or whatever of like nothing, of it being like, it was like 2 months, where it's like, here's the game, and then people finish the game and they're like, this is a great game of the year. And then the DLC came out and then people were like, you gave us unfinished. It's like, no, nobody was saying this game felt incomplete before the DLC came out. Now, to bring it back to Pokemon, ironically, that's how I feel. But in this scenario with Pokemon, because like I don't know if you ever heard me talk about Legends specifically, but I felt like Legends Arceus was an unfinished game. I felt like Legends Arceus left me feeling unsatisfied when I finished the game. And when I saw they announced DLC for Pokemon Legends EA, I was excited. I was like, okay, cool. Like we might actually have like content that's going to last, and not just be this like 1 month game and then everybody drops it, including the people that act like it's like a like all-timer Pokemon game. Like to this day, I see more people playing Pokemon Sword and Shield than I see playing Pokemon Legends Arceus, and that's ridiculous because Pokemon Legends Arceus came out like 2 years ago, and Pokemon Sword and Shield came out like 6 years ago. So it's just like I don't know. But I also don't really look at game prices in the same way. Like that's never really my consideration when I decide to buy a game. And it never really has been. Like, since I had disposable income, like, even before I got into YouTube, because YouTube is, like, an excuse now, where it's like, okay, well, I can at least make some of this back, if not all of it back, if not more than all of it back, you know what I mean? So I can justify it in that way. But even before that, it's like, my time is what I care about more. It's like, do I want to play this? Will I enjoy spending the time playing this game, or no? And then it's like, if I don't want to spend time on it, I don't. The price isn't a thing. It's not like I don't really have a moment where I'm looking at a game that I kind of don't want to play, and then it's like, but it's only insert price, and then I buy it because of that.
Yeah,
right?
facts.
Like Silk Song is like the darling for pricing right now, where it's like this game's only $20.
I'm gonna buy it.
That had
Yeah, that's what I did.
that had no consideration for me. I was like, I'm
But I
interested
already
in the
wanted the
game.
game.
Exactly. I was like, I'm already interested in the game. I'm interested in the zeitgeist of it all. I want to be able to take part in the conversation. So I'm gonna buy the game. If the game was $40, I would have bought the game for $40 and been happy about it. If the game was $60, I would have bought the game for $60 and been happy about it. It really has no bearing on it for me. Like when I went and I bought the Donkey Kong DLC, I went straight to buy the Donkey Kong DLC and I looked for the price on stream just to be like, hey stream, this is how much it costs. But I was going to buy it regardless. There was no world where I went on there and I saw like $30. No, like I was just going to buy it.
Yeah.
And that's just how it works for me with games, and it doesn't even matter on the platform. Like I've been spending $70 on PlayStation and Xbox games, despite the fact that I had never finished them. I never really finished a PlayStation game or an Xbox game.
The crazy part about this is just again, it just feels like sometimes it's recency bias, and it's also people trying to find ways to slam dunk on other people about the things they like, quote unquote, because now it becomes like a numbers game of like, well, my game outsold whatever that game is,
right.
or my thing outsold that, or this game is worth it because it has this shelf life. But like none of that shit fucking matters because people only and purely play games because they want to.
Yeah.
Like they like it.
It's something
like,
that they're
that's
interested
like
in.
the thing at the end of the day is like you pick the world that you're interested in.
Mm-hmm.
Like you pick the thing that you like.
Like
so like
I don't know if you've seen this at all, but there's been a decent amount of posts of like, why spend $20 on or $30 on the Donkey Kong DLC when you could buy Silk Song? It's like what do those two things have to do with each other? Like as somebody that
has
like
nothing to do with nothing.
Most people that are gonna buy Donkey Kong Bonanza are in for a whole different experience for what you want out of Silk Song, and those people are the main people. They would be the main people, the like core target audience of Donkey Kong Bonanza, complaining about the difficulty of Silk Song. Like me personally, that's not. I've never had that complaint with Silk Song. I don't think the game is too hard, but I think people that take that advice, that see the like, don't buy the DLC, buy this. Those are the people that's like, this game is too hard.
Because the game is not hard, it's tedious, and that's the point. Like you got to learn patience, right? So like every game that I used to think was like, yo, this game is too difficult, it's like a patience simulator. And like it's annoying and it can get tedious and it can get like I don't want to play this anymore and frustrating, but like it's usually never a game is too hard unless it's like some bullshit like the old Dark Souls games where it's like
they like literally try to
limited
cheat. Yeah.
Like it literally like your movement is limited, that everybody else can do everything else, and like you just have to figure it out, right? So that's not this. So in my mind, like I've seen a lot of the times, or even like people conflating like, why buy the Donkey Kong DLC when you could buy Silk Song? Just like you said, because a lot of motherfuckers was playing Donkey Kong Bonanza don't give a fuck about Silk Song.
Yeah.
Like most of the people who like got a Switch 2 and got Donkey Kong Bonanza probably won't cop Silk Song unless it's like on sale or thrown in front of their face.
Right.
So that's why I'm just like, yeah, that conflation is so funny because it's like, you grasp that something that's actually pretty good, Silk Song, right?
Right. Yeah. Like
throw it in people's face so that they can be like, you know what, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
It's insane. So.
It's very weird. That said, there's an interesting mini trend that we've been seeing with third-party games on Switch 2 specifically. And it started with Final Fantasy VII. Remake. Final Fantasy VII Remake is $40 on the Switch 2, or it will be when the game's out. And recently, at least on Amazon in the UK, Resident Evil Requiem is £10 cheaper than the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series versions of the game. So the Xbox Series version and PlayStation, they're £70, and the Switch 2 version right now is $60. So that,
not gonna lie, I might be playing a lot of these big games on Switch.
That's what I was gonna say, because like I think it's interesting to ask somebody like you who like you're more likely to default to something like PC or something like that. Like that's where you play your games
Mhm,
usually. But for
mhm.
me, it's like if it's playable on Switch, I'm not. It's not even. I'm not even thinking about it. I'm just going to buy it on Switch. Um, so I was going to say, is that something that would sway you regularly? Like if you see a game
See,
like Requiem and you see that it like what it looks like on Switch 2 compared to what it looks
mm,
like PlayStation 5, which I don't think it's like it's there's a difference
I,
obviously, but I don't think
yeah,
it's like
I think
Game Boy to console version, you know.
me specifically, games like Resident Evil aren't like games that I love the most.
Hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So like I probably never see a reason to pay full price for a Resident Evil game. Like, and also with the good thing about Resident Evil games is a lot of the times they go on sale, and it'd be like a bulk of them like on sale, and I could just buy all of them and just play them. And so like if the Switch version is cheaper and it don't look that crazy, that's easy for me for two reasons. One, I have a Switch too. I bought one. I might as well get like my catalog up.
Right.
And then two, that's very easy for me to go stream and get my money back. So like,
Right.
you get what I'm saying? Like if I want to play Requiem like on stream, and then people want to watch me play Requiem on stream, I play it on Switch. I talk about how it is. Like it's one of those things as I'm like, yeah, I'm down. Like I'm definitely down to play this. Like on Switch.
Sardi
Especially because
said
Switch 2 is not some like
it's
it's not
not.
a
Yeah.
Game
It's
Boy. You get what I'm
exactly.
saying? It's not
Exactly.
a 3DS. Like you get what I'm saying? So
Sardi said, is it because Game Key Card is that much cheaper? Same with Ubisoft games. Eventually, the gold edition will be $20. So we don't know yet. We don't know if it's a
yeah,
Game Key Card yet. Maybe. And I think that that's
maybe.
another thing that I'm curious about. I don't know if you care. I think you like physical games, right? You be buying physical games?
Yeah,
Question mark.
I have both.
Do
I
you?
could get physical or digital.
So do you care about the Game Key Card thing? Is that something that
Not really, but it's also not a thing that bothers me. You
that's
get
what?
what
Yeah,
I'm
that's what
saying?
I meant. Like,
Like,
does it? Would it bother you
no,
if
no, 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 not at
if
all.
so? Like, here's the theory, right? I mean, like, here's the hypothetical. If they start doing it so that it's like, okay, if you get the Switch 2 version and this game on cart and it's $70, but then they have a game key card version that's $60, are you buying the game key card version or the game on cart version?
I'm buying the key card version most likely.
That's how I feel. I mean, I'm buying it
Specifically if
like
it's a game that like I said, like I have a Switch for like the mainline stuff like Pokemon and different
right.
things like that. Like
Yeah.
I'll buy the key card for that. Like I always buy whatever Zelda game is the key card. I get whatever Smash Brothers is the key card. I have Smash Brothers on a key card.
Well, I don't think
I'll
Nintendo's going
get
to use the key cards.
Pokemon like on a key card.
Hmm.
Like, but I usually get digital because it's easier.
That's what I do.
So
I feel like I'm like diametrically opposed with these people that like are anti game key card. Because me, it's like I'll see a game like that. Ben has been trying to get me to buy Tekken for whatever. You know how Ben is with trying to get me to buy
yeah,
games randomly. He's been trying to get me to buy Tekken for the longest, and he's like, "Yo, they got it on sale on Amazon on Xbox for $20," and I'm like, "Is it digital?" He's like, "No." I'm like, "I don't care then." Like it not being digital is a detractor for me. I want to be able to load the game up by going on the menu and pressing the A button, and there it is. I don't want to be like, oh wait, let me switch the disc out. Oh, where'd I put that disc at? Oh, it's lost. You know, scratched it. You know, I don't want to deal
I
with
feel
none of
that.
that stuff. I just literally want to be able to turn the game on and exit it whenever I feel like it.
I feel that.
So that's how it is for me. It's like it would be a cool little bonus if you could get game key cards for cheaper, but I don't know if I would go out of my way to get a game key card versus the digital version. But then that brings in the question of like, if they do that, is it less of a, because for a long time people when digital games became a thing, like when you were able to buy full on games and not just like we shop like WiiWare things digitally, the conspiracy was that it's like, well, digital games can't be this like cheaper, because if they were, then you're cutting out the retailers, and then the retailers would like go against the console manufacturers. But now they could still like they could do that where it's like, well, here's the game key card and it's the same price as the digital game, and the digital game is also cheaper, but we just haven't seen that. I think in the UK, well, actually, that was like the in Europe, that was like the fear monger thing. It's like people were seeing store listings that were more expensive at retailers than they were digitally. Like, I think it was Mario Kart or whatever was $90 in one of their rumored like store listings, and they were like, Switch 2 games going to be $90 or whatever. But it actually ended up being the opposite. It's like a lot of retailers have Switch 2 games for cheaper than they're on the eShop.
Okay. I mean, I'm not like opposed to game cards. Like I like actual physical game cards. I think it's pretty cool. I do think right now, if you are a fan of game cards and physical media, this is probably one of the worst eras to be into like game cards and physical media,
Yeah.
because they like half-ass on all the stuff that they give you, and it's not as like good as it used to be.
Mhm.
Like, so you'll just be getting basically your game card and a game case with like whatever. Back in the day, you would get a bunch of extra shit,
Right.
and I thought that was like a better return for like me buying something that's physical. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, it's almost useless to buy like physical media now. But like, if you like that, you like that. Like, I feel it.
Yeah, you
So,
want the box on the shelf or whatever. It is what it is. And I don't know how related this is, because I don't know if they're going to be one of the developers that makes it cheaper. It probably will be a game key card, but it's rumored that Red Dead Redemption 2 is actively being developed for Switch 2 right now.
oh damn.
I don't know. I already have this game. I might get it because I never finished it, and
Yeah.
Switch 2 would be the thing that would make me finish it.
True.
So depending on when it comes out, you know, that comes out same month as like a freaking Mario game or something, it's probably GG's. But like if it comes out during like a month with nothing
see.
else super intensive or nothing like that I want to make a video on more, then I might have to cop that. And then the last thing before we get into our X and Y playthrough that I wanted to talk about is achievements. Actually, first I want to talk about this other patent, because I want to get into it. You saw the whole thing with the Pokemon patent.
For the battle system?
Yeah, no. People summons. It was like Nintendo patented or Pokemon Company patented the ability to summon characters. That's what the talk is.
To summon characters?
Yeah, that's so. Hold on, let me actually go to.
Is it like, because every time I feel like I read one of these patents, it sounds broad, but it's very specific.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. People saw the patent. More likely they saw people talking about the patent, so they got this secondhand information. Where their patent is specifically on how Pokemon are thrown out in the overworld in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, where you press the button, it goes behind you, it attacks characters within a certain vicinity. Like it breaks it down on a tiered level of like, this is what the patent is. But the controversy was people essentially like diluting that and saying Nintendo's trying to patent summonable characters. You've been able to summon characters for years in video games and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just fear mongering, and it's like this goes back to, as somebody that like has been following Nintendo for a long time, like for a job, right? That's just not how they work. I think a lot of people try to fear monger in that way, where it's like they're patent things so they can be patent trolls. Nintendo doesn't go after people just randomly. Usually if Nintendo is suing somebody, it's because their thing that was blatantly infringing on their copyright blew up. Then Nintendo's like, well, we got to go after this because of somebody that is nefarious, infringes on our patent or our copyright or whatever. And we try to take them to court. We can't do that because the last time something blew up because it was a fan or whatever, we told them it was fine, you know? And that's what's happening here. It's like Power World, where before Nintendo did anything, Nintendo or Pokemon Company did anything, everybody assumed they would, because Power World was very blatantly like Pokemon ripoff. Like it was very blatantly that. And that was the appeal. That's why everybody was saying, yo, it's Pokemon. And there was like literally marketing campaigns of like, it's Pokemon with guns. right? So like, of course, that's
Yeah.
something they're going to go after. But the way people are talking about this is as if Pokemon Company, if they get this patent, would like go after Square Enix for making a Final Fantasy game, or go after
I got
Digimon Cyber
I,
Sleuth.
I got like my opinion on that is like I seen the early chatter on this patent, and I've realized, and I've come to the realization that most people don't know what the heck is going on
Yeah,
in the
yeah, yeah.
world. Like
Uh huh.
they have no clue what legal stuff, how legal stuff works. They have no clue like how like businesses work. Like so they will look at something and read. And surprisingly enough, it's funny because it's people that will read the whole document, right? And then read a sentence like, we are also saying that summoning is something that we want to add into this article. And they'll read the summoning part and go, wait a minute. Summons always happen in other games. You can't do that. And then they'll think of the old things that Nintendo has done that people have put them on a chopping block for. And they'll go, this is just another example of that, which is like, at the end of the day, like people patent shit all the time. And then we hear like the general answer of what they patent. And it always is going to sound fucking insane. Like when somebody will come to you and go, yeah, this nigga patented the word Coca-Cola.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he didn't patent the word Coca-Cola. He can't. Like
Right.
that's impossible. Like he obviously there has to be more to this. And then there's always more to it. But like people don't care about the more. They like you said, they get the secondhand information from somebody else that they, I guess, kind of trust that they
Right.
know what they're talking about. And you don't have to know what you're talking about for people to trust you to know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you just have to say something
So,
that feels like it aligns with how they feel. That
so then they're just like, yeah, obviously they did this.
yeah, clearly they would do something like this because that's how I feel. I really like Point Crow, and they copyrighted him for what he did. So therefore, like that kind of thing. It's all informed by how you feel about the thing and not what is actually happening in reality.
That's just that's
Because
just
notice,
America right
like
now.
Sony, for instance, right? They're not getting the same heat that Pokemon Company and Nintendo got for going after Pocket Pair for Power World, with them going after Tencent for that game that copies Horizon Zero Dawn. People are like, yeah, you should sue them. Like that. I think that's crazy. It's like, yo, keep the same energy at least. At least,
I will say to play just a little devil's advocate, I do think there's a part of the Pokemon community that enables like that. You get what I'm saying? Like enables like the other side to kind of easily slam dunk because there's this side of the Pokemon world. There was a big like not the entire part, but there was a big part of like the Pokemon world. And when Power come out, they was like, see, this is exactly what we need in Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
And I think that like powers up the motherfuckers who don't give a fuck about Pokemon. You get what I'm saying?
But what do you mean? What do you mean? Like,
no,
in what
I'm
way?
just saying that like they because some of those voices are like the big voices like when it comes to like just gaming speech, gaming speak, and it necessarily isn't true. You get what I'm saying? But like people will look at like something like Power World and go, Pokemon should have been doing stuff like this. Not necessarily the gun stuff, but like the overworld kind of battling and blah 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 blah. Right? They're like, oh, Pokemon should have been doing this, even though Pokemon already kind of was on that path. They were just figuring out how to do it.
Yeah,
it's like I feel like the mixture of people. Okay, here's what I'm trying to say. The mixture of people with actual well-to-do intentions and the actual haters in the Pokemon community gave these people that are outside that actually don't give a fuck about how well Pokemon do or not power to speak on Pokemon. And give them like a bigger voice than they should have.
Right. So I guess what I'm saying, because I agree. I think Power World does a lot of stuff that Pokemon can learn from. But the thing about it is like everything that Power World does that Pokemon can learn from is things that were already existed in the Pokemon like ethos. It just wasn't specifically in the video games. So it becomes this weird thing where people attribute those ideas to Power World, where in reality they didn't come up with the idea. They just executed on it in a video game before Game Freak did, you know. But all this stuff of like, man, I think it would be really cool to ride on Charizard's back, right? People didn't get that idea because it was in Power World. They got the idea because they saw it in the Pokemon anime in 1998. You know what I mean? Like,
no, literally.
all the stuff that people say they want from Power World always existed in the Pokemon universe. It just wasn't executed on.
Like,
in the
I mean, you're a good example of this. I mean, we're all a good example of this. Anybody who's ever played Pokemon, everyone who's ever played Pokemon has always come down and said to themselves, whether you were a child or you were older, I wish I could do the shit that was in the anime.
Yes.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Literally everyone.
Yes.
So it's like,
except for RPG fans
World,
that specifically like
because
RPGs,
they're annoying. But even then, right? They will say, I like the even the fucking super nerds that like do the math crunch and shit, right? Will be like, I've had a conversation with one of my homies who's like that, right? And I was telling him that I think flying type Pokemon sometimes should dodge attacks like Surf.
Right.
Right? And he was like, that makes a lot of sense. And you can even catch them and shit like that because it's like, that happens in the anime. And they're like, oh, well, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those things where
I think that's the funny part though too, because like you'll see stuff in the anime that'll happen, and because you can't do it in the game, Pokemon fans that are like RPG fans will look at stuff like that and be like, that doesn't make any sense. You can't do that in the video game.
Yeah.
Like in the anime, it'll be something like the Pokemon using Stealth Rock, and Stealth Rock will also have like a defensive property to it, where it's like, oh, he used the Stealth Rock and the rock got in the way. So instead of hitting the Pokemon, it hit the rock, and that's what happened. And like Pokemon video game fans look at that and they'll be like, that's not how it works in the game. That doesn't make any sense. But anybody else will look at that and be like, yeah, the guy, he put a rock in between him and the attack, and the rock got hit by the attack and not him. That makes perfect sense. And to Pokemon's credit, they changed that in ZA. Like ZA, that's how Stealth Rock works from what we're seeing, where they did Stealth Rock and it blocked the attack from Talonflame, and Talonflame took damage. But yeah, that I think that's the other part of it, where it's like people will look at stuff like that happens in Power World, the video game, and for the sake of their argument, be like, see, Pokemon came up with this. Or another part of the what Power World is trying to argue in the lawsuit is that they did not get the idea from Pokemon. They got the idea from Pokemon fan games. And Pokemon's like, well, that shouldn't count.
Where the fuck do you think the Pokemon fan games got it from? They're literally called Pokemon fan games.
Yes, exactly. Like the Pokemon fan games are getting them from other parts of the universe and bringing it into the video game. It's like that stuff doesn't just come from nowhere. It's always like, yo, this already exists in the world. It would just be cooler if this was also represented in here. So yeah, it's just, you know, a lot of people with bad faith arguments about patents, but it's funny. It's funny because there's another patent that Nintendo fans are actually happy about, or potentially tentatively happy about, and that is
what patent we talking about?
There's a patent that Nintendo did for missions and achievements. And you know, people have been wanting achievements on Nintendo consoles for a long time, and Nintendo.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me that Nintendo is going to reward me for my progress, and I get to tell people that I'm played games way more incessantly than they have?
I hate I hate achievements a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah, I know.
I don't give a fuck about it. Here's the thing about achievements, right? I bought this game because I think and I believe that I'm going to finish it, right?
Right.
I am not one of those people that go for 100%.
Mm-hmm.
If I go for 100%, that means I really, really like this game.
Yeah.
And I really want to be able to finish that game. That's not a thing that I'm always going to do.
Right.
I'm going to be honest. When I beat a boss and that achievement pop up in the corner, I don't care about that. I care about beating the boss.
Right.
Like, I'm hype about beating the fucking boss. Like,
exactly.
That achievement means nothing. I'm more hype if I get a cool weapon. Like, nigga, give me things that matter.
Yeah, reward me in the game by in the game. You know, like make the game.
I don't care about
reward.
Some outside shit. Like, you're like, hey, we're giving you 50 points. Go buy a Mario icon, nigga. I don't give a fuck. Like, but if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do.
It's like because
I guess.
achievements specifically are for like people that like don't know how to or don't know what to do with games like Minecraft. It's like you didn't tell
I'm
me
weak.
why I need to do things, and you didn't give me a roadmap, and I don't have boxes to check off, so I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing right now.
I'm
Right?
weak.
That's what achievements are for. And I think that as an optional thing is like fine or whatever. But the problem with achievements and the way that they exist on other platforms is that takes up resources in the sense that developers for the good achievements, if they're going to have achievements that matter, need to take time away from designing the game and in part design the game around how they can reward you in achievements by being like, okay,
Yeah.
well, what are things that people that we can tell people to do in this video game to give people an achievement for, where it's like those things exist in Nintendo games just organically, where it's like in
Yeah.
Mario Odyssey, there would be if achievements existed and they were done in the same way that they're done elsewhere, there would be an achievement for doing that. I don't know if you ever saw that. There's like parts in Mario Odyssey where it's like if you do this crazy platform challenge or whatever at the top of this structure that you have no reason to go up here, there's like a whole bunch of coins that you can
Yeah,
get.
yeah.
Right?
Facts.
If achievements existed, there would be like a freaking gold achievement for doing that. But in the way that it exists now, it's just this optional, like, cool bonus thing that you could do. It
Yeah,
almost
like I'm literally a psychopath. Why are you telling me what to do? I was gonna do that anyway. Yeah, like I feel like with achievements, it's funny because like you said, like some people do need structure or whatever, and, or told what the next thing to do is. But just like you said, even without achievements, there's gonna be after a video game comes out, there's 50 videos of somebody who beat the game in
Right.
like 20 hours.
and them telling you,
And
like,
they will
this
tell
thing,
you
this thing,
exactly
and
where to go everywhere.
Right.
So we don't need achievements anymore. Like we have everything at our fingertips. Like we have guides. We have all these different things. It's cool if you want it, and it's definitely dope if it's optional. I don't think it should really matter like that.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I want it to be extremely opt-in. So, like, I don't want to have to interface with it. I want to be able to check off a box that tells me that I can turn achievements off. Like, because
Yeah,
I
I feel
actively
that.
do not care about that. I feel like this with the achievements thing that I feel like with game chat, where like game chat or you know, like voice chat. Game chat I think is a
Yeah.
little different because it's just Discord, basically.
Yeah.
And it is a curated thing, whereas like voice chat is like you're like thrown to the wolves. It's like everybody that you're in the
Absolutely.
lobby with, that's who is talking
They
with
can
you,
say
and then,
whatever.
yeah, exactly. And I don't, that's an experience that I don't want. I want it to be very opt-in. I want to be talking with the people that I want to talk to, and that's it. You know.
That's a fact.
So I don't know. Maybe if their achievement solution is akin to their game chat solution, maybe I will like it on second thought, because I do like game chat. I do think that was a cool way to go about doing it. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm just not one of the people that's been banging this drum for parody. It's like I think that's such a weird thing, because like when we get it, people don't like it. Like we got a parody and game distribution, and people are enraged. They're like, what? You mean to tell me that when you buy a game, it's just a physical DRM? That's crazy. And it's like that whole time that's been the thing on PlayStation and Xbox since PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, you know, like
Yeah.
oh.
I feel like the achievement thing is like it should absolutely be optional. It should help people that want to be helped. You can turn it on and turn it off, but like you said, what I think they're doing is because they see like PlayStation and Xbox and them got like a lot of their achievements and shit on their app, and they want to put something on their app.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I feel like is happening.
Yeah, we'll see.
If they make it like the app wise, I can see that being way better than like, you know?
Yeah. As long as I'm not getting pop-ups and dings and there's not,
You probably will.
there's
You
not
probably
a there's
will.
not
I mean,
a
you probably
list on my
hopefully you can turn it
console.
off. Hopefully you can turn it off.
I need that because I'm not trying to be inundated with iconography that's being like, you're playing the game the way we want you to. Isn't that cool? You know, I think that's why. And it'd be the same crowd that's like, yo, I hate hand holding in games. Give me achievements. And I'm like, well, I thought we didn't like.
Yeah.
Do we like hand holding or not? But yeah. I think that's everything in terms of the news. So let's talk about our next game. We beat another Pokemon game. We did it again.
Yeah.
We're here.
We did it again.
Pokemon Sun and Moon. We beat the video games. We finished it.
Yeah.
So here's our little mini review conversation. Because I mean, we're going to do the videos eventually, but it's going to take a long time because those videos are going to be they're an undertaking for sure.
That's a fucking fact.
But so thoughts? What do you think about the game? As somebody that never played Sun and Moon before.
First thoughts, holy shit, is that shit depressing a little bit, a lot of it. Whoa, what was the Pokemon Company thinking? What, like, this was the game when they was just like, yeah, we're the emo edgy child, like in the corner, like, and we're telling a story. Like
they talked about death a lot, and that
so much death and parental abuse.
Yeah, parental abuse, and another core theme.
It's like. I was like, damn, this is an A24 Pokemon game.
That's facts. So here's the first question I got. Do you think that this game continued the trend that we were on in terms of like every game leapfrogging the game before it? Did you have more fun with this game than you had with X and Y?
Did I have more fun in this game than I had in X and Y? Yeah, I will say that I did. I will also say that I liked what they tried to do. It was a little confusing at times, but like, yeah, like, do I like this game more than X and Y? Damn, you just made me really think for real.
Maybe my thoughts will help you a little bit. I don't think I did. I think that this game improves on X and Y in some ways, but what I'm noticing is like the side stuff in Pokemon is more fun than the main stuff in Pokemon.
Yes,
and if you give me fun side stuff to do, I'm down. I will do that for hours and hours and hours, and that's what X and Y was. It's like we spent most of our time in X and Y doing the side stuff, and there was more than one side thing that we had fun doing. It wasn't even just one thing. Like if it was just a Battle Chateau, it would be a little harder to say whether or not I had more fun. But it wasn't just the Battle Chateau. It was also the Pokemon and meme mini games. Like we had a lot of fun doing that. It was also the Battle Maison, and that was even at the end.
Yeah,
like if we got that earlier, we probably have spent a lot of time doing that. There's a decent amount of stuff that we had a lot of fun with just messing around in the game. And there is the one detractor that I'll say that did actively make the rest of the game less fun. Like, Pokemon games are already not really that fun in their essence. Like the overall experience in a cerebral way is fun when you think about like I like team building and I like catching my favorite Pokemon, you know, like that's fun. But the minute-to-minute gameplay is not. The thing about these things is they usually reward you with experience, and that makes the minute-to-minute gameplay of battles even more frictionless and even less fun. So that's the one negative aspect of it, but it didn't matter to me that much because I was the fun I was having was worth it. You know, it was worth making the thing I already don't think is that fun less fun to have fun genuinely with things that aren't that, if that makes sense.
Sun and Moon, I probably didn't have more fun,
but it was still fun
than X and Y, but it was still a fun game. Now that I'm thinking about Sun and Moon, there were a lot of times where I felt like maybe in this game is one of the games I was the most lost in. In like specific parts. Where I was just like, wow, okay, I have no clue where I'm going. They just told me to go somewhere and they never brought this up ever. At no point until now. So like I got lost a lot in this game.
Yeah.
The camera still sucks dick.
The camera's terrible.
Like they gotta like
I mean, they already did. They did.
But yeah, but
them being so against the right stick, and that kind of shows you like the trajectory of Pokemon and Game Freak and like how they think about things. Because people will see stuff like, and that's why a lot of Pokemon fans are so dogmatic about how they feel like Pokemon. It's not Pokemon if this isn't because that's how Game Freak trained them to be. It's like, well, is it a Pokemon game if you can move the camera? You know, like that's how they felt. That's how they felt. They were like,
that is
might not be a Pokemon game if you can move the camera, but now you can. So yeah, but and the same way, and this is kind of owed to that, is this was like their first like foray into open world Pokemon. Like this was them experimenting with that idea of like, okay, what does an open world Pokemon game look like? And for what it's worth, it was a bad version of that. It was like, okay, no, you guys did not do a good job at figuring out open world. Because like you get, and there's the whole thing of like, and in seeing this and like how they handled open world, I'm like even like less stringent on them or mad at them for the quote unquote handholdiness of Sun and Moon. Because like I'm a grown ass man. I played this game multiple times in my life and I still am like, where am I supposed to go? And the map is supposed to be like have icons on the thing, but that only works if you're within the radius of the thing. If you're already going in the right direction, then you can see on your touchscreen in the map where it's like, oh, okay, there's the icon for the thing, right? But that's not always how it goes, and you still got to know like the specific, because it's not Arceus, it's not Pokemon.
I think it's interesting that like to read the map efficiently without like. Because I'm thinking about the youth that played this game, right? Like I'm thinking about how many youth didn't finish this game because they don't know about topography. Like the map is like literally like a satellite type of map that shows you raises and bumps and shit like that.
Right.
But like you have to decipher it. And I'm just like, God damn, y'all gave this to a kid? Like that's crazy.
So that's something that I'll push back on a little bit. And I do plan to make a video about it eventually. I've talked about this in videos, but I think the way people view kids playing games is like not a reflection of how kids play games, because like obviously there are going to be kids that are like a little bit more like slow on the uptake on like how to figure stuff out and playing a game or whatever, but kids that play TM video games and that's what they do, and they're like gamers in the way that we are gamers and that we were gamers as kids, they're going to figure it out, and they understand games and like 3D games in the way that we understood the games that we grew up with.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying like they don't, because we got lost. I'm just talking about the parts where we got lost. Like I could imagine them, like the kids being that like, even play games TM, being like, how the fuck? And then like when they figure it out, like because usually even me as a kid, I was a kid that played video games. I would brute force it and find my way. Right.
And that's what I'm saying. It wasn't even a map thing.
Tell me,
like usually when we found our way to go, it wasn't a direct thing of the map. It was just like, hey, this is how we got here. It wasn't like.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, but I'm just saying, like, I know back in the day, I couldn't tell you how I got. Like, there was a few times when we were talking, and I'm like, you gotta go this way, you gotta go this way, you gotta go that way.
And then other times where it's like, I don't know how I got here.
I don't know how I got here, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I can only imagine the frustration of being like, how the fuck how did I get here and how do I get back? Like, so that is like a thing that like made me feel like, damn, nigga, me as a grown ass man is struggling like a motherfucker. I know them kids was just like, what the fuck? Like, what is this? Like, why did they make me like? Why? Like, there was multiple places that we kept walking past because it didn't look like it was like an entrance or something.
Right.
Like, it's like how am I supposed to put a sign out there or something?
There is like parts of the game where it's like it's not, because usually when it's like an entrance of a cave or whatever, it's like this large like lit area. But in this game, sometimes you got to go in a hole in the side of a cave. And like
you like, what the fuck? Oh, this is okay.
Yeah,
these two trees is opening.
Right, exactly.
I thought these were just two trees.
Yep. That I will say that looking at them doing their like first attempt of open world, it was like, I'm sure I felt differently about like in the same way that I feel like with Scarlet and Violet, I'm like I'm not going to say less harsh for the reason that people would try to assume that I'm less harsh. But it's because I see the progress and I see where they're trying to go, and I would prefer for them to continue going than for what other people seem to be suggesting, where it's like, you're doing a bad job at this. Go back to the thing that you used to do. I rather have them be bad at doing open worlds and get good at it than for them to be like, oh, well, let's go back to Gen 5 where we had it all figured out. It's like, nah, I don't want that, because giving me Gen 5 2 more times would make me hate it. Playing it the first time, and I guess the 2 times that we did with Black 2 and White 2 or whatever, that was pretty cool. But I don't think it's pretty cool another time. After that, I'm like, all right, pack this up. I want more out of it. You know, I want the franchise to continue to evolve like every other.
Especially where we at now, when like I feel like for the past few games, all we've been complaining about, the one constant of our complaints is like, nigga, these fucking random encounters, man.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, so it's like one of those things where it's like, I don't want the whole games. I absolutely don't want the whole games, especially with the random encounters and shit. Like, let's move forward. Like, you get what I'm saying?
That's where I'm at. I've never felt like. For me, it's like I see all the stuff that people are saying, like, oh, frame rate issues and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and like the crashes and all that stuff. I hear y'all, but I will take that every single day of the week over random encounters and all the other HMs and, you know, all the other BS that's in all the other games. I will take Scarlet and Violet the way that runs every day, every single day. No regrets. No regrets. And for what it's worth, we didn't get to that game yet. I don't know. Maybe my opinion will magically change when we get to Scarlet and Violet, even though that's the game that I'm the most familiar with right now. But yeah, I think that this game has just shown me that. It's like, in the moment, I'm sure I felt like that, where it's like, oh man, it's so cool that they're like experimenting with overworld encounters. But how the overworld encounters work in this game, I hate it, because they're not real overworld encounters. It's like, you can like, well, literally, they're not real world overall encounters in the sense that they're like a silhouetted almost Pokemon of like, you can kind of like guess what it is based on the area that you're in. Like if you're in a cave and you see something burrowing through the ground, it's probably a Diglett, you know, like that kind of thing. But you can't see it. But beyond that, it's like the game doesn't want you to be able to run away from it. They want you to like see that it's coming at you and you have no choice. So it might as well just be a random encounter. Like,
that's the fact.
You allowing me to see it does not give me the agency to be like, oh, I don't want to see that.
So like, oh, I'm a run.
Yeah, like in Pokemon games now. In Pokemon games now, it's like, oh shoot, it's a Liepard, and even those Pokemon that are meant to, and we're not even there yet in the playthrough that we're at. For the record, we're at Sun and Moon. I mean, we're at Sword and Shield right now. We're not going to talk about. I mean, we're not going to talk about that yet. But anyway, when you're in that, and that's what it is. It's like, oh, I see a Liepard, I can prepare myself to run away from the Liepard. But and this is like a quote unquote overworld encounter in Sun and Moon could just spawn, and it's like burrowing through the ground, and it's running,
and then it's gonna fucking like the flash dash at you.
You can't do nothing about that.
You're not gonna be able to go anywhere. You can have a repel, don't matter. Like,
and that's the other part about it. It's worse because like at least like with the overworld encounters in the old game, I mean not overworld, the random encounters in the old games, it's like you have some level of agency if you have repels and a Pokemon that's stronger than everything else that's there, right? You have that. But repels don't even work on these fake overworld encounters. So they went out of their way to make overworld encounters more annoying than random encounters, which was a huge L for this game, in my opinion. Because why I've been banging on in past tense, why I banged on that drum of like, give us overworld encounters is to give us agency, not to take it away from us.
Give us reasons to run away. Like, I don't want to
give us the ability to decide.
A Pokemon that's fucking whack, I can go, I'm gonna run around this motherfucker. Like,
I don't want that one, you know. Like there was people that like their argument was like, oh, ruin shiny hunting, and it would ruin like the feeling of like a hunt, of like looking for a Pokemon that you want. Random encounters does not feel like I'm hunting for anything.
First of all, ruining shiny hunting is the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
It's very stupid,
because every time I've encountered a shiny Pokemon in Scarlet or one of the overworld games, I'm like, wait a minute, don't that motherfucker look different? It's such a good moment.
It's like, so much hyper. It's so I've explained this before, where it's like the cool thing about shinies historically was that you're running through the grass and like everybody kind of feels like, even people that were like advocating for random encounters, there's nobody that's like, yay, random encounter, you know what I mean? Like they get annoying to everybody eventually, right? So you get the random encounter. It's like, oh, okay, it's another red, and then it's not, it's not the Pokemon that you expected. It's a shiny Pokemon. It's like, oh shoot! So you have that one moment of excitement, and then you have one more when you catch it. It's like, oh, I caught it, right? You have like 4 moments of excitement when it's an overworld encounter. It's like depending on the game. Like in Arceus, you had that first moment of like, what was that? The shiny sound, and then you turn around, and you look around, and it's like, oh, shiny Pokemon, it's sparkling and everything. Yeah. And then you walk towards the shiny Pokemon, and you run into it, and it's like, shiny Pokemon, and then you catch it, and then that's 4 right there. It's like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. But in the old games, it's just the first oh my god, and then yay, I caught it.
And then you got it. Yeah.
So yeah, it's like I agree with that. I think. Oh, speaking of that, worth documenting. I got my first shiny in this video game for the series.
You did.
Let's go. I got a shiny Gastrodon. I didn't use it though because I had a water starter, so it was GG's on that. So it's a little anticlimactic. I caught it, but I never used it. But I'll put it in Pokemon Home and I'll use it eventually in some game at some point in some.
Yes, sir.
But it was pretty cool.
I'm still hoping to catch my first shiny. Probably gonna happen in this game or the next game.
That'd be hype. I hope
probably the next game more.
Yeah, it's.
But I hope it's this
You're
game.
going to get it in Scarlet. You're going to get a shiny in Scarlet.
Yeah. But I'm hoping it's this game.
Yeah, that would be. It'd be way hyper if it's in this game because Chinese are. I mean, they're still exciting in Scarlet and Violet, but it's not as big of a thing of like, oh my god, this is a 1 in 4,000 or whatever.
Yeah, true.
It's relatively easier to get a shiny, and also because so many Pokemon appear, and that's another part. That would be an interesting thing of like how many shinies will we run into? Because I've replayed Pokemon Scarlet and Violet like 4 times, I want to say, but I never played it on Switch 2. So
true.
That'll be another part of it of like, are we going to run into a lot of shinies because more Pokemon spawn?
We literally will, because all my shinies are from Switch 2.
Oh,
like
so
all of them on Scarlet, on Scarlet, every single one.
That makes sense.
That's from Switch 2, and I have like 3 shiny Excaliburs that was in one.
I'm crying. Oh yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Sun and Moon. Let me think. What are the other things that we really talk about? How you feel about the shift? The like, it's not gym leaders. It's the island. The island challenges and stuff. Like, did you like that or not like it?
Shit, I didn't necessarily care for the island challenges like that. Specifically, the ones where we gotta fight the same Pokemon over and over.
Yeah,
in different evolutions.
Right.
We couldn't catch it or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really care for those. I thought the Kahuna battles were cool.
Yeah.
I like to be honest, this is one of the times I'm gonna sound like one of the old Pokemon fans, but like I don't care for that shit for real. Like y'all can just be gym leaders and I'm okay with that. Like I prefer I do like them trying new things.
Yes. Right.
I do like us being able to, go and battle people and level ourselves up like through this, which is pretty cool.
Right.
I don't know. I just feel like also X and Y spoil me. Like, just bring back the Battle Chateau, man. Make that like an integral part in like things, man.
That's facts. Me, I agree with you. But I'm also like, so with a lot of people that like advocate for this thing where they're, I don't want to be a Pokemon trainer anymore. I've been a Pokemon trainer before, blah, blah, blah. I agree with that in the sense that like, I would love to have the option, but at the end of the day, like in my ideal Pokemon game, it's like a slice of life thing. It's like, you get to choose what you want to be. And like, do you want to dedicate yourself to being a battle coordinator or a gym leader or a Pokemon professor or whatever? You have that choice. There's still a high chance that I'm going to choose to be a Pokemon trainer. I still think that's a pretty cool. That's a pretty cool role in the world, right? But I just would like the option. And this game is like the island challenge is fine, but I think it would be a lot cooler if it wasn't just a glorified trainer's journey anyway. Like the island challenges are kind of just gym battles. They're just in a trench coat. You know what I mean? If it was like actually like different in the way that even the Orange Island gyms are different in the anime, where it's like, oh, in this gym, Ash has to build a sleigh and race to the bottom of the mountain, and then they do, like that whole thing. I think that would be sick if that's what it was. Like if every gym battle was like, or every island challenge was like a mini game, that'd be sick. But the closest that we got to that was like the grass one where like it was a fetch quest. It's like you gotta find the different ingredients.
Oh yeah,
But it would be
yeah,
so
yeah,
much
yeah.
cooler if it was like, all right, you found the different ingredients and now it's a cooking mama mini game. You know what I mean? Like I would have been hyped
That'd
about
be
that.
weak. Yeah, nah, yeah, true. That'd be dope. That would be dope.
That would have been so much cooler. So I like the idea. Execution, not my favorite. So
Yeah,
that's how I feel about that. I think that the Z move mechanic is neat. It is interesting to see that because like when I think about battle like Pokemon gimmicks and stuff like the Dynamax and Terra and all that
hmm
kind of crap, I think about it in a way that it manifests now, where it's like, all right, we're done with Z moves. There's no more of that. We move on to the next thing. It's Dynamax.
yeah,
All right, we're done with Dynamax. On to the next thing. It's Terra now. But in that game, they have more than one Z moves, and then we got Mega
yeah.
Stones towards the
We
end.
got megas
They
at the
they
end.
held on to
Yeah,
Megas for a minute. Like,
I was like, damn, okay.
yeah, I mean, and I didn't get a Mega. Like I got the Stone, but there was
Yeah,
there
that's
was
true.
none of the Pokemon that I caught. I had the Mega Stone for. And even with the gimmick, like with the battle gimmick, it's usually just something I use, and I guess that most of that is owed to the fact that we're just playing the single player campaign, and it's like it
Yeah,
exists to be more deep than that. It exists to exist in the VGC or
competitive
whatever.
space.
Yeah. So like in this game, it just ended up being something to stun on people. And sometimes it was
Yeah,
like, I'm
literally.
scared. I'm scared of this Pokemon.
I gotta use this.
I'm Z moving. I
I
don't want to
gotta
die.
use this. Yeah.
Yeah. But usually that's what it was. And it was funny because it's like for a long time you would get hit by Z moves by the
Yo, by the gym
by the
leaders
gym
or any
leaders, by the,
challenger, like, they would just do it immediately.
and I would be like, "What? They do that?" Because they never
Yo,
did that to me until like the end of the game. I got to like the second last grand trial, and they finally started hitting me with Z moves.
I was like, damn, they hate me specifically.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy.
It's lit. It's lit though. That game. Also, Nebby is not my Pokemon. I don't know why they
Yeah,
gave
it's
Nebby.
crazy that they gave you Nebby. I wish that you could give it to her. Cause it's
Not my
mine.
Pokemon. They needs to give it to Shorty.
They should have gave it to
I don't
me
know.
for sure. Yeah, like, she would get on my nerves because it's like, yo, you literally could just catch a Pokemon and you would be less useless. Like,
Also, I really like the Zygarde mechanic.
oh yeah, that was really cool too. So you had Zygarde on your team the whole time. The Zygarde,
Yeah.
the Zygarde, we kept calling it Zygarde cubes because that like
Yeah,
that's just
Zygarde
what,
cube,
but there's
yeah.
Zygarde cells and Zygarde cores,
There's
and they
cells,
go
yeah,
inside
true.
of the Zygarde cube.
Yeah, facts.
But yeah, we did that, and then I got it when we got to 10%, and then I eventually abandoned my Pokemon. I was like,
Yeah,
all right, GG.
Off stream, I went on and I got like to the 50 to get him to 50%.
Whoa, I didn't even know that. That's crazy.
hmm
I only got to 10%, and then I never used them again. But you got them, and you kept them all the way through. Admirable.
hmm
I-
One of the final champions on my team.
I wish I remember my team. I don't remember my team.
I'm fucking
we
weak.
should have put that in the like in these reviews also.
That's also true.
But I forgot. Let me see if I can remember. So my team, we could document that. We try to have themed nicknames. We nickname all our Pokemon. My team was like, we started it was musicians, but my team just ended up basically being Destiny's Child. Like I had
That
Beyonce as my starter. I had Kelly Rowland. She was a Salandit or a Salazzle. That was the final evolution. Also all my teammates were female Pokemon.
Yes, sir.
And then who else did I have? I had Marjorie. Well, actually, no, I got rid of Marjorie. Marjorie was the Grimer. Muriel. I had Muriel. That was a Crabominable. I had Dragon. She was a Lycanroc, the Dawn form or the day form, whichever one that is. I think Dawn is the regular daytime version. But anyway, I had that. I had who did I not say?
You said Tamara?
Oh yeah, Tamara. That was the Toucannon. And then I think I have one more left that I can't think of right now. But that was
I had Nebby.
Oh yeah, also
Whirly,
Nebby.
which is
Nebby was on mine.
Poliwrath. I had Tia, which is also my Toucannon. I had Karen, my Metagross, Courage, the Zygarde, and Romaraine's the goddamn Incineroar.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was the team, man.
Yeah.
We cooked. We cooked OD with the team. Yeah, Kelly Rowland. Hell yeah.
Yeah. I mentioned Kelly Rowland. Kelly Rowland, the Salazzle. I think the last one I wasn't thinking of was Nebby. I added Nebby because we switched our teams around a decent amount. Spoilers: we're switching our team around in Sword and Shield more than ever before. We never switched the teams around like this before.
No type of way of like that was happening.
But yeah, it's like I have fun with this game. I think the story is probably the highlight overall because we had a lot of fun with the terrible bomb. I think that the Pokemon are pretty good. They saved in the final half because I think a lot of this game, and it's happening progressively as we go through these games. I think they're relying a lot on nostalgia. With every newer game, it's like, oh yeah, remember Gen 1? Like they do that a lot, and that makes what I'm trying to do specifically. I know you're less strict on this, but I'm trying to specifically.
No. I agree.
I just mean like no, I'm not talking about the critique. I just mean like me. If I have a team, it's just Pokemon that I can't get in any other game. With you, it's like
but this is what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. I'm saying I agree with you. Like it's not even a critique. It's like, hey, we just played a few games.
Right.
I don't want to keep using the same fucking Pokemon.
Right. But you have
you started from the beginning.
Yeah, that's true. You didn't play through Gen 1.
I didn't get to play like that to have a Metagross. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
That I'm cheating low key because I remember I could still I never had a Sneasel.
That's fair.
So I'm like, I could probably use the Sneasel, but like I might just honestly soon strike out most Gen 1s unless they have a new evolution.
So in Sword and Shield, so far, spoilers for our future conversation on that game. So far, I'm less strict on it because we are switching around. Like I'm not looking at my team as my team TM. I'm looking at my team in the way that I look at teams in modern Pokemon games, where I just I have a roster. It's like I have 30 Pokemon that I'm going to use by the time this game is over, and all of them are going to see some kind of play in the gyms and evil team battle, stuff like that. So I'm less strict on it now, just because it's so much easier to train more Pokemon. Now my Elite Four team, or the Pokemon, I don't even know what it's called in this game. It's technically the Pokemon League team that I'm going to have, is going to be just all Gen 8 Pokemon. But as we're playing through the game, I'm down with. I'm fine with having a Pikachu and having whoever. So that's where I'm at right now. I don't know if is there anything else that we missed with Sun and Moon? I don't think we.
Oh, Ultra Beast.
Oh yeah, Ultra. Yeah. Also the post game. So we were playing through that, and this is probably where we got lost. I want to say the most, low key.
Yeah, the most. Literally though, I think that I could say wholeheartedly the only time we were just like, what the fuck is happening?
Where am I supposed to go and why? But at the end of the game, they put you on this task force of you gotta get all the Ultra Beasts. They're appearing here and they're dangerous. You gotta help us.
Please.
So we went and we did that and we caught all the Ultra Beasts. I think they did Moon kind of dirty. Personally, I think Moon's exclusive Ultra Beasts are whack compared to Sun's exclusive Ultra Beasts. Because I got to catch Buzzwole and Kartana, and they're pretty cool. I like them. I thought at one point that Xurkitree was going to be exclusive, but it's not. But it's on both. Yeah, so I was like, man, that's kind of messed up. But I like the story content. I think that we missed out on that era mostly. In terms of how they handle post game, because I think a lot of it was in the Oraz. Oraz was another good example of them doing post game like that. Where it's it's Team Rainbow Rocket and Team Rainbow Rocket's back or whatever. I think that was an X and Y maybe. Or maybe it was, that might have just also been an Oraz, but they did stuff like that on the 3DS. There was the Delta episode, which you get Deoxys and Rayquaza or whatever, and Oraz. So we'll play through the remakes eventually, so you can experience that. But that was a very cool era of post game for them as 3DS.
Okay, dope.
Oh, Rainbow Rocket was Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Okay, so that's another thing that we're not
I will say, while I do have good to say about the post game, I wanted a Buzzwole and I couldn't get one, so
Yeah.
I'll give that shit 2 thumbs down.
Yeah, that was kind of whack. But if we still had access to the internet, you could have got a Buzzwole because I caught 2 of them.
That's a fact.
But
That's
unfortunately, the online is shut down, and that's another thing that we're not going to have to deal with anymore. In the future,
That's a fact.
we're over that. That's done. But yeah, that's something that I think is really cool how they handle it episodically with the post game, and they do it with DLC now, kinda. Like in Scarlet and Sword and Shield, we'll see, because we're also doing the DLC in the same way that we did Black 2 White 2. We're going to do DLC for the newer games. You'll see they do it a little bit where it's like, all right, on this episode of Pokemon, this is your mission. You know, that's how they did this, where it's like, all right, in this episode, we're catching this Ultra Beast. In the next episode, we're catching the next Ultra Beast. I like how they did that. That was cool.
Yeah, that was pretty dope.
It was, yeah, it went fine. We didn't get to do the battle tree. I'm going to do that off stream before we actually do the video to be able to talk about it. But yeah, Sun and Moon was a good game. It's fun. I liked it.
It was actually pretty fun.
If I had to rate it, if I had to give it a grade, if like X and Y is an A, this game like a B-.
I was gonna literally say B-.
Yeah,
B-.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. We'll see.
It's a B-.
We'll see how Sword and Shield turns out.
And if I really want to be hateful, I'll give it a C+ because I ain't get a Buzzwole. But like, I'm gonna give it a B-.
I wouldn't be mad at you for that. That would be valid because I got Buzzwole, man. I didn't use them though, and that's what makes it worse because I know if you caught Buzzwole, you were absolutely going to use it for the rest of the game.
I was absolutely going to use that nigga for the rest of the game. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so it was wasted on me, but I will say I like them. If I like any of the Ultra Beasts, the ones that I got are ones that I like. I didn't get any.
True.
The only Ultra Beast that I got that I didn't like was Guzzlord.
Guzzlord,
hate him. He's terrible.
I fuck with Guzzlord. I'm not gonna lie. He looked crazy, but I fuck with his typing.
Only thing I like about Guzzlord is his voice in the anime. That's it.
Dope.
Because he screams at the top of his lungs. And that's hilarious. It's almost as good as Victory Bell. Victory Bell is also a W.
Yeah, Victory Bell does have a great scream.
Yeah, imagine hearing that in the video game. It's like I know there's a Victory Bell here, screaming at the top of his lungs. But yeah, no, I think that's everything for this episode. Thanks for being here, and being here for the Pokemon series. Good time.
Yes, sir. We're about to continue it. Actually,
we're literally doing it now. If you're watching this on the podcast services or YouTube or whatever, you're missing out. Go to Twitch, twitch.tv/watch redirect and or twitch.tv/the Colton Show. Like, comment, subscribe. Goodbye.
Get later, y'all.